Hey everyone, Garrett here from Naked Famous Denim with another amazing fade review on how the jeans can go from something like this to something like this. But before we get into it, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so these jeans were actually sent in by yours truly, the Wizard of 32 ounce. He was wearing these before he was the Wizard of 32 ounce. I bought these jeans a long time ago whenever they came out. They are, I believe, the Elephant 5, and I bought them and then they kind of sat in my closet for a few years before I brought them back out in, I think it was 2017 or 2018, and I wore them for a bit. The story goes is that I wore them and they were kind of my nice jeans. And then eventually I forgot my work clothes. I was working for the CN Railway at the time, and I forgot my work pants. And this was the only pants I brought to work for that cycle. So I'd go for like a 10-day cycle. Anyways, so I was forced to wear them, and then they became my work pants. And within a few months, they were heavily faded. One thing to note though is that when I hemmed them, I didn't shrink them at all, and I didn't really account for shrinkage. And then they accidentally got put through the washing machine and then through the dryer. So they actually went through the dryer. As a result, they shrunk up a little bit shorter than I would prefer, but whatever, they were my work jeans, so I just continued to wear them with my boots, so they fit okay. So this pair over here, I'll do a quick little side by side. It's not the exact same pair. This is the Elephant 9, which has a lighter blue color to start with, but it is the same yarn. So I grabbed it just to show you guys kind of a little comparison, a little bit of a before and after, not exactly, but gives you an idea. Okay, so starting from the top here, it's great because I can give you all the information, at least that I remember. It's been a while on these jeans. So it is an older pair, but it's not so old that it doesn't have the old woven label. You can see here it's got that new woven label that's sewn on just the sides there. Coming down a little bit farther, you can see there's quite a bit of brassing, a lot of wear and tear on that rivet there going into the pocket. Here's a newer looking rivet, still got some of that silver tin color on it, whereas this one is worn down to the brass or nickel there. Quite a bit of wear on this pocket going in, actually both pockets here. You can see there's a hole developing. I should probably get that fixed, but I haven't. And the pockets have been repaired a whole bunch by hand. This is, I believe, done by Josephina, our repair lady who used to work here, but she's since retired. And then more repairs on this pocket as well. This is usually where I keep my knife, so there's a little bit more abrasion there. And some little hole forming on the coin pocket on the inside right there. Quite a lot of abrasion on the fly here. You can see it's kind of rippled and puckered, which is interesting, gives you a little bit of contrast there, and starting to break through on that second button you can see there. Coming down a little bit further, again, quite a bit of fading on the lap area. I mentioned that I wore these on the railway, and most of the fading, believe it or not, was done in about 2 months. I've worn these maybe total for about a year, maybe 1 year worth of wear, and they've been washed many times, so many times I can't count. But you can see here that's starting to almost rip here on the tops of the whiskers here. On the outseam here, there's already a hole developed at the edge of that whisker and the edge of that one as well. Again, some more rips fading along the outseam there. Coming down, this is one of my favorite little details here, was I used to have 2 holes at the bottom of the pocket bag. So if you keep stuff in your pockets, it won't be uncommon that you'll get a hole going through your jeans where the pocket bag is. And I gave these to Josephina to repair. I didn't really tell her what to do at all. I just said, hey, there's some holes, can you fix them? Because we trust her. And it came back with this really cool repair. So it's got like kind of this box. So on the back here, there's a piece of fabric that's sewn in. So she's got this rectangle here, and then we got a real grandma style repair here, a little kind of crazy zigzag going on that hole just to thicken it up and make that nice and strong. And then the same thing over on this side as well. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a spider web. Let's flip them inside out just so you can see the inside. So that's the inside of the repair there. Very heavy duty repair, very practical. Maybe in some eyes, maybe not beautiful, but I really like the way that it looks. Okay, coming down a little bit further, you can see that they're stained a little bit. They kind of got like a brownish color, and then there's some brown spots on the jeans. And what that is basically epoxy. When I was working with the railway, we would use an epoxy, a giant industrial. It would come in like a big tote. Like it would come in basically almost like a pallet size, a giant drum this big, about this tall, and it was called Spike Fast ISO. You can Google it. And what it does is you essentially just glue the railway back together. That's what it does in a nutshell. But you know, when you're working, sometimes you have little spills here and there, and so you get these little spots of, this is the hardener actually of the Spike Fast, kind of all over the jeans here. A little bit more wear on the knee area. Personally, I'm not someone who crawls around on my knees too much, so there's no holes in the knee area. Coming down a little bit further, you can really see that streaky, vertical, slubby fade. We still have some of the indigo left here. So those high points are fading a little bit faster, and the lower points are retaining more indigo. Coming down to the bottom, you can actually see more of the two parts of that Spike Fast ISO where it's mixed together, and it has this kind of like brownish orange color on your jeans. And then look, here's another repair. Sometimes I find that if it rubs on your boots or something, you'll get a little hole around the leg opening on the side there, where you can see there's a nice little repair from Josephine. She also reinforced the leg opening. So if you look here, you'll see that there is some chain stitch left, but there's also some single needle here that she just went over with the gold thread to reinforce that so it wouldn't come undone. And on this side here, you can see it was kind of coming undone a little bit, and there's also some blue thread here, again just going over, reinforcing that. Really nice roping. I really love this effect when it rubs a lot on your boots, and then you get this kind of like torn area at the bottom of the jeans. It's not a raw hem, it's still a real deal chain stitch hem, but just because it's wearing so much, it starts to wear away. And like you can even see here, yeah, just a beautiful little roping down at the bottom. Okay, let's flip over to the back side. And when me and Vinny were just, before we started filming this, we noticed something interesting. Vinny's like, wow, your patch is so crazy. Like you can't almost see the embossing at all. So let's just do a little side by side here. I just want to show you the difference in size. So these patches both started as the same size, but as you can tell, this one shrunk down a lot. That's what happens if you hot wash and you dry. Your leather patch is gonna shrink. And also it's gonna kind of remove the embossing over time. The embossing was so much removed that I don't even remember this happening, but it must have happened. At some point in time, the patch fell off, and I gave it to someone to repair, and they couldn't even see the picture very well, that they sewed it on upside down. So if you look really closely, you can see the speech bubble is right here, which is wrong, because the speech bubble should be at the top, like that. So at some point in time, this patch got re-sewn on upside down, kind of like the Frankenstein jeans. I don't know, kind of a cool little feature. I like the look of it. I like how it's kind of creased and rippled here. But let's move down a little bit more. The belt loop's still in perfect condition, holding up well. Once we get down below the yoke, we can see that quite a lot of fading on the seat, really light, almost to white. The back of the pockets here are experiencing quite a bit of wear. You can even poke your finger through. I should probably do a repair on that too. But man, it just looks so cool. Bottom of the pockets as well, just about to tear on the bottom of the pockets. You can see here, this is where I keep my wallet, and then usually in this pocket I would keep my phone. Coming down to the crotch, we got some mega repairs going on here to address and prevent some blowouts here. So quite a bit of repairs, again done by Josephina. Let's see in the inside here, so you can, master repairs. So a nice big, kind of almost heart-shaped, or I don't know, peach-shaped repair done on the inside here. A little bit of a spider web action. It's like, you ever see those pictures of like spiders on drugs? That's what it looks like. Okay, and then moving down a little bit further, we can see here the honeycombs. So I wore and washed these a lot, so the honeycombs are not as defined. The more you wash them, the more there's gonna be kind of what we call a vintage fade, and they're just gonna be faded like all over. If you wash less, then the honeycombs are gonna be much more defined. But I was washing these every 10 days because they would just get absolutely filthy dirty, and they had to be washed. So I washed them very often. So there's a little bit of evidence of the honeycombs in here, but not a whole lot. Working down to the bottom, got some mild calf fades. Again, some more of that epoxy on the bottom, and just that beautiful roping with the gold chain stitch. Okay, so let's show you guys a full view here. Front and back. I'll try to do a little side by side. So something like that, more or less. So anyways, yeah, we don't have these anymore, but if you want to pick up something different, we always do have the elephant jeans coming out every year. We got the Godzillas coming soon, which are going to be, you know, pretty much the same weight as these. I'd highly recommend picking up a heavyweight pair. It is a really fun experience and a really great pair of jeans to fade. If you made it this far, don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you got a faded pair of jeans you're not wearing anymore, send us an email, and if it's faded enough, we'll take it in, add it to our eternal wall of fades, do a fade review on it, as well as hook you up with a discount code for your next pair of jeans. Until next time, see you later. Bye-bye.